Well, hello, welcome back. In case you've not been here before, I'm Claire, this is Purple Poppy, and on a Thursday we do the Marguerite Miller collage challenge. Come quite a long way through this book now. Today, oh, that's where I just decorated up that section. Right, today I've got all my papers ready. Oh, I suppose really we should look at last week's first, shouldn't we? Last week was week 34 and we did this sandpaper and poppies and electric lights. Yeah, that was last week. And then while you were gone, I just decorated that section divider. So for week 35, something that represents summer. Well, I've got this piece of one of the old calendars that I've been using a lot lately. Very blue sea, could be a postcard, so that's very summery. We tend to send postcards from holidays. Or, see, here we go with the blue again, I can't help myself. I've got this large picture of blue butterflies, and you only really see butterflies in the summer. So they're my two summer options. A list. Well, I've brought along the index of this old typewriting book because obviously it's got a list of elements that are in the book. So I've got that for my list. A pattern with stripes. Well, I've already, to save you the boredom, fussy cut this beautiful striped wing chair. So it's out of an upholstery book. So yes, there's my stripes. A photo or a portion. Well, I've got this little one here. This is from Artymaze's most recent kit. I think it's something like instant photos. And I've printed that at something like 2 to a page. So it's tiny. Typewriter text. Well, this is from that same book. And that's the old typewriter looking text. So I've got that. And then the bonus. I don't usually use the bonus, but I don't know whether or not I will this week. This is a stamp that I've got of a clock. And it says a clock. So there you go. So let's have a look at this and see where we are going to be going. So I think probably the first thing is my biggest piece, and that is a perfect background page. So I'm going to use my list as the background page. I'm obviously going to use this beautiful, large, oversized chair. Now, admittedly, you can't see much of the list now, but you can see a bit underneath there. So just got to make sure that obviously all my feet are on the floor. So I think we'll maybe bring it up so we can see a little bit more of our list. Summer. This chair's so big, isn't it? We'll have to put our postcard. So bring the chair back down. We could maybe get our postcard up there. Can hardly see it. So I'm feeling a bit, maybe we, but the more I bring the chair down, the less we see of the, what's the word I'm looking for? List. So maybe instead of the postcard, we put in the butterflies, and I could skim that off, couldn't I? That might be quite nice actually. Skim that off the page. And then I had this whole sort of Alice in Wonderland thing going on in my head, this whole shrinking thing, and I was thinking maybe we could put this photo balanced in the corner of the chair. Maybe it would have the clock behind it. So you'd have to line it up to make sure it looked like it was, you know, standing on the chair. And then I thought maybe this text could be torn out. I'm going to move everything there, aren't I? Never mind, doesn't really matter, does it? And at the bottom. Now, when we very first started these, I used to tell you a story relating to the subject matter about something in my life, and I'm very aware that over the last few weeks it's something we've not really been doing, but it's been in the main, I think, because there's not been anything in the subject matter that has allowed me to conjure up a story from, you know, from my past. I mean, looking at the summer, looking at the postcard, the only thing that sort of really springs to mind is spending time in Antigua, which I've told you about many times, so that's a bit boring. It's a well-known story. I did also actually once tell you, I believe, about the time that we went on a holiday to the Isle of Wight, and my troublesome younger brother went and got himself lost, and everyone was having a panic. I think I've told you about that. So yeah, I really can't sort of think about a holiday postcard situation to tell you a story about, if I'm honest. Butterflies, well, actually I don't like butterflies. Now that's a bit of a general statement, a sweeping statement, and I didn't really mean it quite like that. I mean, I think they're very, very pretty in the garden, and I would never harm one by any means. But you know, when people go to zoos and wildlife parks and things, and they go and visit the butterfly house, no, I can't stand things flapping around my head, I'm afraid. That's not for me, not at all. So that's what I mean when I say I don't like butterflies. And that, actually, now you see, there's a story swinging from a butterfly. So years ago, when I lived at home, and I'm talking about when I was about 10ish in age, my mum would come up of a night. You know, I would go upstairs, I'd get myself ready for bed, and she would come up and, as she called it, tuck me in. So she would say good night. She would ask if there was anything about my day that I wanted to share with her. I suppose she thought she didn't want me going to bed, you know, with something on my mind, worrying about something or whatever. Anyway, this had gone on really, you know, ever since I was taking myself to bed, and I never thought anything of it. Carried on basically till I left home. And I left home at something like, oh, how old was I? About 25? No. I left home about 18. And yeah, it carried on right up till I left home. Obviously, the conversations changed. But anyway, this one particular night, she came up and you know, the usual, is there anything you want to share about your day, blah blah, before you settle down for the night, etc. Yes, see, I like that, and I'm going to leave it there so we can see that it's an index. We can still need to make sure that this back leg is straight. You know, anything you want to share about your day, blah blah blah. And all of a sudden, a giant moth came into the bedroom. I don't know where from. I can't remember whether the window was open or it had flown up from downstairs or whatever. But this giant moth came into the bedroom, flew towards my mum. She screamed and jumped onto my bed that I was already in. And one of the corners of my bed collapsed onto the floor because the bottom right hand leg had broken in her jumping on the bed. So my bed was all doing this. Oh, that was a very interesting occurrence, and I can't help thinking that may well be why I can't stand it when things fly. Fly at me. Just don't like it. It's not the done thing. So, you know, there you go. That's the only story I've got for you. Quite funny, really. And from that day until the day I left home, I was sleeping in a bed with 3 legs and a twiglet tin. It's been the source of amusement for many years, has that, within the family. Claire's bed with 3 legs and a twiglet tin. There you go. So I'm thinking, if there was a twiglet tin in the house, that was the sort of thing you had at Christmas time, wasn't it, back in the day? So I'm guessing it must have been in the winter time. So I don't know why the window was open. There was a moth in the house. Unless, of course, it's something she'd been holding on to store stuff in. Definitely wasn't to make a button tin because, well, my mum wasn't that way inclined. She never kept anything that was damaged or broken, and she never did anything in the slightest bit crafty, so she'd have had absolutely no reason whatsoever to keep a twiglet tin. So anyway, there you go. There's my moth story. I didn't think I had one, but it's just come to me as I was looking at those pictures and wondering if they are butterflies or moths. Although moths tend to be brown, don't they? So they must be butterflies. I am waffling away, I am. I feel like this has been a really short and simple video this morning, probably because in finding my pieces yesterday, well, do we put that up there as an advert? It could be one of those like steely advert signs. The clock is next to it. See, this is that whole Alice in Wonderland thing that I've got going on. Yeah, I like it. Things on the chair. I don't know about you, but I do that. Again, when I lived at home, my mum used to leave things on the stairs to be carried up by the next person that went. I don't think anybody but her ever took anything upstairs. It just sort of stayed there till she took it. But anyway, that process stopped the day my troublesome brother, here we go again, decided he was going to trip over it, fall down the stairs, blah blah blah. And I don't think anything was ever put on our stairs after that again. But I do it. I don't put stuff on my stairs because of that and remembering that. But I do put stuff on a chair. I'm very good at filling a chair up with stuff. If I've bought the washing in off the line or whatever, it will go on the chair waiting to go upstairs. I feel like I want something this side now. The trouble is now we're on the flat, so I would need something that's got the right angles, so I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to leave it the way it is. Yeah, I just put everything on a chair. So that is definitely the sort of scene that you would see in my house if I'm moving furniture around, which I do frequently, because yeah, see, if I put something there, it's going to be at the wrong angle, so I'm not going to fiddle with it. All I'm going to do is find my ticket. Oh, she says, where's the ticket? Here. I'm going to put some ink around my ticket and stick it on the back. If I'm moving furniture around or whatever, I'm likely to put precious things like the clock or a photo frame, you know, that I don't want broken. So yeah, that is a very typical image from my house. So yeah, certainly feels like home, that page. I'm loving it, loving it, loving it. I'm going to stick this on the back, as we always do. I'm still not feeling that that's finished. I feel, I like it, don't get me wrong, and it's very reminiscent of a snapshot of my home, but I just feel like there should be something here. Oh, do you know what? There could be something on the floor resting against the leg, Claire. So, what we need now... Oh, look. What about one of these shabby-dabby-doo-dah picture frames? Now, that might be the answer. I think we want a tall, thin one. You see? Yes. Oh, actually, we could put two. We could put one in front of the other. See? I do get excited when something comes to me. And I suppose I'm going off piste because it doesn't ask me for a photo frame. But I don't think it says it anywhere in the rules that you can only use what's on the list. So you see, that's got to be in front of that leg. Like that. Can come across there a bit. And then if we use this one that is landscape rather than portrait, we could have a stack of them. It's starting to look like a junk shop rather than a lounge where you go and rummage through antiques and the like. Oh, I love those kinds of shops. Right, so again, it would be on the same bit of the floor, wouldn't it? So we could do that maybe. See, it's got to be on the floor, otherwise it's going to be wrong. Or the other answer is, do we just cover that leg up completely? Leave the back one and put that on there. Now, that chair is on the, well, it's sort of on the straight. Oh, I'm being really like OCD now about this, aren't I? And it's sort of unnecessary. Claire? See, it doesn't go there because the arm comes round. It's going to go there, but it's got to go on the skew. That's what it's got to do. That's why it didn't look right. It's got to go just slightly on the skew. There we are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a bit of glue down there. I will get this. I will get this. That's going to lean up there. That one is going to be marginally more forward because of the depth. There we go. Sorry, I'm probably driving you mad now, aren't I? Unnecessarily doing this extra bit just because it was bugging me. Let's have a look. Extra bit of glue. Now, it's got to go from there, leaning back like that. Oh, there you go. Now I'm happy. You see? Could even maybe put, oh, see, we'll be here forever doing this. Let me do another one. Do you know what? Maybe we do. It's left Alice in Wonderland and become, oh, what's his name? The Rag and Bone Man that used to be on the telly. No, I'm leaving it. Leave it alone, Claire. Leave it alone. Stop fiddling with it. So, sorry about that. Just got a bit carried away with needing something in that corner. As always, I really appreciate you joining me. I hope you've had a bit of a giggle at my 3 legs and a twiglet in bed, and you like my stacked up chair. As always, stay safe, happy crafting. I'll be back with you very soon. Bye bye for now.